Welcome to CARDESIGN.ACADEMY. Today I'm going to be continuing the interior for my SL Coupe concept. In the last video, I demonstrated how I go about building the seating, the interior seating. And today I'm going to be getting into the main theme of the instrument panel and the doors. So we're really going to be able to have a sense of space and flow and experience as well. So you can see I have this kind of 3-occupant layout where we have this dedicated driver in a very sport-oriented position with a very tight-fitting bucket seat. And then we have this rear occupant who's in this very throne-like VIP space with a footrest and perhaps even like a table that comes out. And so, yeah, the idea is that there's this duality to the interior, and this is every bit a luxury vehicle as it is a sports car. So, so today I'm going to get into the interior, the instrument panel and doors, and by the end of today, we should have a very clear idea of what the theme of this interior is, and then from there I'll get into some final detailing, and we should be pretty well wrapped up. So I'm going to go ahead and turn off the occupants, and so you can see the seating layout. I'm going to lock that layer, and I'm going to start a new layer called instrument panel. I'm just going to call IP, and let's get right to work. So I'm going to turn on my mirror plane and turn on my sub D ribbon. And I'm just going to go ahead. Actually, I'm going to try something different today. I'm going to try just working in free form. So so I can really quickly get an idea of what the theme is going to be. And just build out from there. So you can see how very quickly I have a nice sense of the volume of the instrument panel. So I think I'm actually going to give this a kind of a gloss finish. This is going to be primarily a display. I'm going to switch back to my red here and just start to sketch out the top trim of the instrument panel. So I'm literally sketching in sub D. And I am going to delete some of this geometry because I don't think I need this many points. The more points we have, the harder it is to control. So we're just getting a basic idea of the theme. Not worry too much about perfection at this point. So very quickly, I have a pretty good idea of what the theme is going to be. I'm going to take this shape and duplicate it down and give that a red pattern as well. So we give this thing some layering. And then I'm going to go in with like a bright reflective material. And I'm just creating my vents here. And get everything kind of nice and even. You can see the ink drawing gives me kind of a sense of scale. I can just take these, duplicate them, and then just tweak them a little bit to give them some directionality on the sides. And then what I can do is duplicate them, assign a different shader, and tunnel them back. So within a few minutes, if I turn off the interior sketch, I have a very nice understanding of the theme. So I'm going to do some exploratory work to try to give this a bit more of a sense of flow. So for example, rather than having these door panels as separate elements, having them literally flow off of the instrument panel. So I'm just looking at these main graphic elements and figuring out the best way to create a sense of seamlessness, of flow. Starting to get something that looks a bit more bespoke and handcrafted. I'm also looking at relationships like the gap between the seat and the door. I want everything to look like it's really tailor-made and custom fit. So I'm going to turn off the driver's seat just so I can have a look at the main rear seat. So I've had this idea that if we can make the if we make the driver's seat sort of disappear, that the rear occupant could operate the vehicle autonomously and have a really premium luxury experience. So what I want to try to do is get these doors to flow, kind of flow a bit into the seat. So I'm basically adding this band of trim material to really give this car a premium handcrafted appearance. You can see there's this nice flow starting to happen around this rear occupant seat. So it has this very, very throne-like premium quality. So I'm going to bring back the driver's seats just to see where we're at with the relationship to the door. So you can see now the door is starting to crash through the seats. So I'm going to bring this back up and now start to work the relationship of the door panel to the driver's seat. You're just trying to get everything working together really well so that there's a nice flow to everything. So there's starting to be a really nice flow between the doors and the seats and the instrument panel. One thing I'm going to do is create a separation between the instrument panel and the door. Now I'm actually going to turn on my cut lines layer so I can see where everything is at. Okay, so yeah, that works. I'm just putting in a sharper intersection where the armrest would be. I'm going to turn off the driver's seat again just to check the flow. Still looking pretty good. So with that, I'm going to turn off the tub and the exterior. So I can start to add more thickness. Just adding a bit of thickness around everything with a nice hem flange. So you can see by adding these hem flanges, everything gets a sense of thickness and substance, which is really important on an interior. So we can fine-tune the screen area a bit. So now I'm just taking those hem flanges and fine-tuning how they intersect with the main tub. So I just turned on the headliner and I'm looking at how this upper trim piece intersects with that. I want to make sure that I'm not interfering with it, or that it's done in a controlled way. It may be all right to just let it intersect for now. So I was going to try switching these vents to red and seeing what it looks like if they live up here instead. So what I'm going to do is build a kind of a blocker surface. It's going to black out that negative space. So what I'm trying to do is figure out how to get this vent to live somewhere outside of the screen, but still have this very wide coast-to-coast screen. So maybe this vent detail lives in the door. Here, that starts to give it a much wider, more coast-to-coast appearance. So now the screen can live kind of independently of the vents. And then these can go back to black. Yeah, that works. So I'm assuming that in the future, in the very near future, we're going to have the technology for curved screens. So now I'm going to give a bit of thickness to the screen. But because this is a precision piece of hard glossy material, I'm going to give it a much thinner section and a much tighter edge. I'm going to give it a couple of extra edge loops. There's this nice precision edge to it. I'm starting to get this nice sort of draped formed look to the screen panel. I'm just doing like a little filler piece that fills in the black area. I'm going to bring in the occupants again, and I'm going to sketch out this table. So you can see how I can quickly sketch out an interior theme, build it in Sub-D, and within an hour or so have a very, very compelling interior with a lot of realism and materiality, thickness. There's a really nice handcrafted look to everything. It's got this handcrafted sort of leather wrapped section to everything, and I have a pretty complete picture now of the total interior theme. And I've worked out a lot of the relationships between the various elements, like the seats, the doors, the instrument panel, and the occupant positioning. So in the next video, I'm going to get into some final interior details, and then we should be on our way to doing some very, very high quality renderings in rendering programs like VRED, KeyShot, Blender, or Unreal Engine. So thanks for watching, and join me next time at CARDESIGN.ACADEMY.